Can you hear the music? Did you figure? Yep, perfect, wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, this is my friend, Super Cool. They made this song. I don't know. I feel like when I think of you, for some reason, I think of like pirates. I feel like you would be sailing the high seas. Okay, there we go. Hello, Rita. All right, I need to go use the bathroom, so I'm gonna go do that, and I will be right the heck back. Feel free to do whatever you want while I'm gone. We're gonna wait for the advertisements to play, and then we'll start yapping. I know what I forgot to do. I completely forgot to just like test your sound levels. Um, can you just say just yap? Okay, they can't even hear you. Excellent. Okay, your Discord, and we are in here, and let's go back to here. Okay, can you talk again?
Hello?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, perfect. Great. Wonderful.
Logan needs some attention.
I hope he stays there the whole time.
Thank you for thinking that out loud.
I'm manifesting.
Oh,
Well, maybe. Okay, ads are 2 minutes of ads.
got him
left.
coming up on a year ago.
Oh my god, he's just a baby.
He's so big.
Still just a kitten. I remember when you got him. Okay.
It was like almost immediately after the school year ended last year.
Hi, everybody. What the heck? There's so many people here already. Wow, this is so cool. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hey,
What the
friends.
heck? Friendship, Warlock, Prototype Zebra, Erathos, Options, Death Warmed Over, Speedy Two Wheels? What the heck? Cute. That's great. Okay.
Audio.
10 seconds. Oh, this is it.
Damn, you might almost be able to hear him purring. He's purring hard right now.
I can't hear him. I wish I could, though. All right, here we go. This is it. It's happening.
Sorry, I'm moving everything around.
You're
not to
moving
rewind
everything.
up.
No, it's very important to have Logan in the shot. It's
I tried. We've tried.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome
Good
to
morning.
episode 5. I can't believe I've done 5 of these already. Episode 5 of Friendship and French Roast. Cheers to coffee with my friend Steve, aka Peace Machina, FKA
Happy hippie or
Happy
just a friendo
hippie,
or
just a
some
friendo, just some dude. And then what was it before you were just some dude? Was it something before that?
There were very brief. I think it was Mick Goat, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Because I made an account and then I don't remember what happened, but I ended up with just some dude. I landed on that, and that's where it started, and then it just kind of bounced around from there.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, Jazzar Dog, what the heck are you doing? No, this is not the time to do any of that. All of my, just as a reminder, all of the alerts are silenced this morning. We're having a little conversation with our friend Steve, and Logan apparently. So we've got Logan joining us, which is Steve's kitten, little baby, and then also Rosie.
Right, yeah, Rosie will be.
Does Logan have a mic? We can no, but someday we'll work. Oh!
It's his now. Give it to me. Stop. This is not a toy.
Oh no!
This is not a toy.
Oh no!
Nope, he's upset. There he goes.
So now he's upset. Now we've done it. Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Just to have a little chat. I just want to catch up with you mostly. We just spent some IRL time together in Maryland a few weeks ago. And that was super fun, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But first, I want to congratulate you because we were just talking about this off screen before we went live. But congratulations on getting your teaching certification. Can you tell us license, teaching license? So big congratulations to you on that. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. I am.
Yeah. So how long have you been teaching? So you've been did you go to school for teaching? Like what do you teach, and how did you get into teaching? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so friends and family had always been like, you should get into teaching. And I was doing personal training up until the pandemic, and the pandemic kind of put a strong halt to that. But honestly, in a good way, because I was already kind of thinking of ways to get out of the industry. It was because it was basically either do the internet thing, which was never gonna do, like influencer type Instagram fitness stuff.
Yeah.
Or own your own spot, which in Colorado would have been ludicrous overhead. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Just in terms of long-term career aspirations, I knew it wasn't ultimately what I was going to be doing. And the pandemic kind of just said, okay, time to switch lanes. And I bounced around a little bit, and eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go for it. And basically how I got into teaching, and how I think, honestly, anybody in any state can do this, because education is a high demand career. It's, or a high supply career, I guess you'd say. So there's alternative licensure programs, and I didn't go to school for teaching or anything. And I was like, okay, well, let's look into this. My sister-in-law on my
Mm-hmm.
brother-in-law side was doing it in Florida, and you just apply to a alternative licensure program, usually through a university or an online education program.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started applying to jobs. I just applied, and mostly I was doing PE first, but those are the hardest probably jobs to get, PE
Sure.
coaches or PE teachers. And so just applying, and then last year I applied and I got an interview and I went to the interview and the interview went really well, and but unfortunately they hired somebody else. But they called me and they were like, listen, we went in another direction, but we want you to get a job. So they like got me in contact with the district, and they found me a job in 5th grade at a not the best school,
Mm-hmm.
like just Title I school where 70% of the students were on free lunch plans and stuff. And
Okay.
so I taught 5th grade last year. That was my first year. And once I got the job, they accept you to the program if you have a job. And
Wow.
last
Okay.
year was super tough because it was like a lot of class and work.
Uh-huh.
And then this year, the second year of the program was just observation and a little bit of work. But we're done with the 2-year program. And now I passed the like praxis exam is what it's called. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like how you teach reading and writing, and if you get a good enough score, you pass, and here we are.
You did it. You did it. Well,
We did it.
congrats. Congrats again. That's awesome. How
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you.
It's cool. So, okay, so you said that you taught 5th grade last year. Are you still teaching 5th grade now, or do you teach, okay, what do you teach now?
No, I teach 6th grade math and social studies. So
Okay. And you're enjoying it. You like it.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
good.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
work. I
Yeah.
always describe it. It's hard work, but it's hard work worth doing kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I imagine
And
that there's
it's
probably,
fun.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I imagine it's probably pretty fun, and I imagine that there's probably a lot of really rewarding moments. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
with kids for sure. So, no, that's so cool. What the heck? So I wanted, okay, so I want to address this. So your name is Peace Machina now, but we talked about it a
Yep.
little bit. So had a whole bunch of different names. And you guys can find Steve at twitch.tv/slash Peace Machina. He is also one of our members of our Punch the Sun stream team. And you stream periodically, every so often you
I gotta
stream.
get my affiliate back. I
Yeah,
did it when I first made the account. I streamed like 3 days in a row, and then I haven't since. So
yeah, yeah. So Steve has had to change his name. He had to create a whole new account, and so we're talking about the education thing. So your students found you. That's what I understood, right? Is that they found
Accurate.
you, they found your account before. So you had to create a brand new account so that they would not find you. So that
Correct.
is very scary. But Peace Machina is Steve's new name, and you guys can follow him right now. I think I checked this morning, you're at like 43 followers, so we need to get you your affiliate status back, because he had affiliate on his last account but didn't want to take any chances and just nixed that one, and then now we're here.
Well,
So
yeah, it's kind of a funny story. Is I showed him one of the videos of me doing the smelling salts because it was hilarious,
mm-hmm.
and I guess off of that, I didn't even think it had my name in there, but I guess it did have my name somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And we come back from spring break, and they're like, somebody found your Twitch account. One of the students
Oh
told me.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, great. So I just told the class, well, technically 2 classes, but I
Mm-hmm.
told all the kids, I was like, look, I understand, you know it. I'm asking you not to watch it. It's 18 plus content. You're only
Mm-hmm.
going to get me in trouble by watching it. You're not missing out on a thing. It's me and some friends playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great content. And of course, They said they wouldn't, and then like a day or two later, the principal. Well, I was just talking to her. She didn't like pull me into the office. She was just like, I was already talking to her about something. She was like, I need to say something to you. One of the parents said that their kid told them I asked them to watch. I invited
Oh
them to come
no.
watch my stream. And the parent was like, I don't really care, but it's something you should be concerned about. And I was like, as soon as that happened, I was just like,
It's no
it's
good.
not worth it. I don't, I'm not, it's not like I'm at 1,000 followers or anything. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's, I do it for fun. And
Mhm.
like summertime, I'll probably start doing it more and when I'm off.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, another great reason to get into teaching is the
The
schedule.
summers are you get your summers off, which is awesome.
I mean, so we have a little bit of a longer school year because of some of
Mhm.
the things we do, but we also have a lot of time off in the school year. Like I have a fall break, a week off in October, a
Okay.
week off for Thanksgiving in November,
Mhm.
week off in December, and a week off in January for winter break,
Nice.
2 weeks off in March for spring break, and holidays. It's
Yeah.
like you can't you can't beat the schedule.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my mother-in-law, she was a teacher. She just recent she retired. I think it was in 2020 or 2021, but she had been teaching for like, oh my God, over 15 years, maybe more. But yeah, that was one of the things that she always just really enjoyed was that she got the summers off and got so many different holidays and stuff. So gives you a lot of flexibility, to do what you want in the summer. So you said that, so when does your summer break start? It's May now,
So
but
because we're sixth grade in an elementary school, they'll graduate this
mm-hmm.
year, and so they'll get out a day early. So our last day is Wednesday, not this coming up Wednesday, the Wednesday after Memorial
Okay.
Day,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
which is
Cool.
weird. Like, so we have this week. This is really our last week because the last quote unquote week is Memorial Day Monday, so no school.
Mm-hmm.
And then that Tuesday we go for a hike up this glacier. We're going to St. Mary's Glacier for like a
Ooh.
final voyage for the sixth grade crew.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll hike up a glacier and then Wednesday we basically just do so we do like drum circles and shit.
What the
And we'll
hell?
do
That's
like a
so
final
cool.
drum circle for the kids and then we'll go to the park next door and just basically celebrate graduation.
How cool. That's so cool.
And
What the
then
heck? I never had a drum circle in school. That's so neat. Oh my God. That's really cool. Um, okay, so when you go on summer break, so you said that you're probably planning on streaming a little bit more during the summer. So let's talk about streaming. Let's talk about that. So how long have you been streaming? So like I know that so you're part of our Punch the Sun crew. I met you through Lauren KHD, and we met in person in
I
Colorado when
believe
I
first, right?
first. Yeah, I believe that we met. Maybe we like had been in passing, like on Twitch. Maybe we sort of knew each other, but we met in person really first before like becoming like online friends or whatever you want to call it, which
Yeah,
was
same with you, Kev, and options, right?
yeah, yeah, Options was there too. Yeah, yep, yeah. So yeah, we had all met. It was like a 4th of July party in Colorado. So yeah, and I just remember we became friends sort of after that, and then I know that you and Ox started to hang out quite a bit. I feel and play games together, and then that's just kind of how we all just kind of integrated, and you and I have become really close friends, and so when did you decide that you like wanted to stream? Like when was that something that you were like, "Oh, I'm going to do this." I know you say you do it for fun or whatever, but like what made you decide you were like, "I'm going to hit the go live button?"
I I don't know if it was any one thing in particular. So
Mhm.
like it was obviously Lauren is what brought me into this universe, right? She
Mhm.
started streaming, so started watching and
Mhm.
joining the discords, and I was like, all right, well, I might as well build myself a computer. I built myself a computer and started
Nice.
playing games with people. And then, yeah, I started hanging out with Ox a lot. We were playing Fortnite. I think it was like his YouTube when he was doing YouTube
Oh, sure.
fairly
Mm-hmm.
regularly for that short, brief period of time.
Yeah.
I started playing Fortnite with him. And then, no, you know what it was? It was the first night, it was crab games. The
Oh,
first time I
yeah.
played games with
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah.
crab games with casual. I think you were there. I
Who
don't
was the
remember who else was
Oh my God,
there.
who was the guy? There was a
It was Turd
guy.
Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson. It was the
Turd
night. It was
Ferguson was
Turd.
beating our ass at everything.
I forgot about that. Dude, crab
Yep.
games. I remember that. That was so much fun because
That
it was
was,
like
I think,
that was like when we had so many people. I think that that was like the biggest like event, I guess if you could call it. Like we've had like the most people playing a game together at the same time. Dude, that was fun. But who that Turd Ferguson, man, that guy.
yeah, had his 1,000 hours played of crab games in every little mini game we played. Well,
Oh
and then
god.
casual got that one crazy against the odds.
The glass jumping? Was that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had to pick the right one, and it was like only one of 10
Mhm.
that would stay up, and he
Yep.
got every single one and got
Yep.
across just like
Yeah.
willy-nilly. Yeah, I think that was the first time I like played games with everybody.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
I started playing Fortnite with Ox and getting into it.
Mhm.
And I don't
Yeah.
know how it came up, but I think they were, James and Ox and Dan and Kanub maybe once I
Mhm.
started playing games with them and stuff would be like, you should do it, you should try it, you should go for just in passing. No real
Mhm.
like hard pressing of it. And
Mhm.
then one day I was playing games with Ox and I was like, dude, if I get to 50 followers, I'll stream. And
Oh,
then
that's
James and
right.
Ox took
Mhm.
over.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a month and a half later, I had 50 followers, which is insane.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to do this. And then I just started doing it and liking it.
Yeah. And now we're
And
here.
it's been a good outlet, just because I have kind of had a crazy few years in terms of
Mhm.
like my career
Mhm.
and just being busy and shit. So it's been, I'm on the computer playing games with you guys anyway, so why
Yeah.
not
Why
have
not?
fun with it? And it's fun to build the stream, like
Mhm.
the notifications and the commands and the out overlays and
Mhm.
right. It's fun to do that in the redemptions. It's fun to do that stuff. Like I love doing the charity stuff um with you in
Mhm.
March when we do the colorectal cancer stuff. That's fun. I like doing some kind of challenge like
Yeah. Yeah, I always appreciate that you do that with me. I always have a really good time like just like hosting and doing whatever. So, yeah, what was I going to ask
this
you
year was
about?
crazy with the
This
chip.
year was
But that
crazy.
was, dude, I bossed that chip. That chip was nothing.
Oh my God. But how did you feel the next day when you went to the bathroom?
There was like one awful shit and then I was good.
So for those of you who weren't there, Steve had to do the one chip challenge. And we really pushed for it. It was like I can't remember the exact dollar amount, but
Dev.
it was like the dollar amount. He was exceeding the dollar amount that he raised last year, and Chevy Kid really pulled it out. And there was I can't remember what it was. He was like if Ox did something or something like if Ox kept streaming, I
48
can't
hours?
48-hour stream. If Ox did a 48-hour stream, then Chevy would finish the amount of money, which was like I feel like it was like over $100 or something. Like
It
it
was
was
like
like a
250 bucks. Yeah, it was
250.
like almost half the goal. I think it was real close to half the goal.
Yeah, which was
Insane by
crazy.
Chevy Kid. But I had to
Yeah,
do it.
you had to do it. So then you had
I
the
mean,
one chip
I did
challenge.
it. I set up I was like, well, if I'm gonna set a goal, I might as well set a goal for $1 more than we did last time. I
Mhm.
knew it was gonna be harder because the first time we did the tournaments, which brought in like the Call of Duty tournament, brought in probably a
Mhm.
majority of the fundraising money last time.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
And so this year I was like, how can I do something that I didn't have the time to organize something like that, like a
Mhm.
tournament like
Yeah.
I did last time.
Yeah. It takes a lot.
So I was like, all right, well, what can I do? I did the push-ups and squats and stuff, and
Mhm.
boy, am I out of shape. Um, and then I was like, I did so, and then I got the smelling salts. I wanted to try the smelling salts, so I made it a part of the challenge. And then I was
Yeah.
like, well, I can do some spicy stuff. Rosie,
Aw. Rosie wants attention. She
you
wants to
see
be
her
part.
over
Can we
here? Come
ask some questions of Rosie?
here. Yeah,
Rosie,
yeah. Rosie, come here.
how long
Come
have
here.
you been a dog, Rosie? How does it feel to be Steve's dog?
I've been a dog about 7 years now. Oh, there she goes.
What a good girl. 7 years. Oh my gosh. She's just a
Yeah, I think
baby.
she just recently turned 7. I think I said her birthday's in March, but I think I told the vet people it's 420. I don't remember. But she was born in like March or April or something.
Yeah.
And
So close
so, and
enough.
it was 7 years. Yeah, she was born
Yeah.
in 2018. So,
That's crazy. Speaking of 420, since you just said that, so yeah, I know that we talked, we mentioned it earlier, but so we just spent some time together IRL, which I think, so like being like online friends. I mean, we met in real life before we kind of like became online friends, and then we've spent a few different times together, like IRL, like spending time together. But we just spent
four times now or
four,
three.
so Colorado, Wisconsin, and then Maryland. I feel like, why do I feel like there was like a
What?
fourth time?
So do I. I don't know.
I don't know.
What are we missing?
I think there was like, there was like a big group outing somewhere. You didn't go to like the Siege tournament, did you? You didn't do
Mm-mm.
that? I didn't do that either. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's just the 3 times.
Yeah, I think it's probably just the three times, but I feel like maybe it's more just because we talk, I feel like pretty frequently. So, so we went to Maryland and we spent some time with some of the PTS crew, and it was really fun. So Steve, so I'm gonna tell this story. So Steve told all of us we were in the midst of like planning this thing for planning this trip with Oximus Prime, Hambalam's partner Paige. Rhode Island was there. I'm missing so many people. Doc, Mad, the Dr. Prince, Call Me Mad,
Jazzer,
Jazzer Dog, yeah, Kenneth and Beth, his partner, and
Sweet Tea,
Sweet Tea, yep, and Tay and Gage. Tay and Gage were there too. So we were
Tater.
all in the midst of like making this plan. We invited a bunch of people, and there were some of us that were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. And so Steve was like, oh, I'm really gonna try and do this. I gotta do you were like, I gotta do my tax return and like figure out like if I have enough money to come. And so you were like, you messaged out all of us and you were like, I'm sorry guys, it's just not gonna happen. It's just not it's not gonna happen. And we had this like we had this Discord where he was like, we were all planning everything and he was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it, and he leaves the Discord. So we're like, okay, he's not coming. That's a big bummer, but we get it, planning, it's a lot of money to travel and blah 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 blah, whatever. So as time goes on, this was like, I don't know, maybe like a month before, maybe 2 months before, and I'm what the heck happened? So we were in somebody's channel. Somebody was, maybe it was James's stream, and you said to me, you're like, hey lady, Friendship Sunday or something. Should we do what did you say? Friendship Friday IRL. You said something about doing a stream together, doing a stream together on Sunday or something. And I was like, oh, you mean like, I just like would like jokingly said like, oh, you mean like at PTS camp, like you want to, okay, cool, we'll stream together on Sunday, that sounds great, just like as a joke. And so I what happened? So we were at PTS camp, and we were waiting for Servo to show up. I see you guys talking about how I didn't mention Servo or options, but you're in the story. You guys were both there. Sorry. We were waiting for Servo to show up, and Ox calls us or texts us or something, is like, Servo's almost here. Servo's almost here, is like, come down to like the main lobby, like Servo's almost here. So we're like, okay, we're waiting for Servo. So we come down and this Mini Cooper pulls up, And we're like, man, that's a really small car. It looks like there's only one person in there. Why does it look like only Servo's in that car? Where's Vintage? Why is it just Servo? And then this freaking guy, I'm standing out there. This guy freaking just comes out of his car and he's just there. He trolled us. It was the biggest surprise. And
Got
I
him.
was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I had a
Yeah,
gut
you had
feeling.
mentioned like Ox and I were like, she's got to know because you kept saying we were originally talking about getting a Sasquatch costume
Uh-huh.
and recording videos and shit. And then one day in stream, you're like, "Yeah, Steve's gonna show up in a in a Bigfoot costume,"
Yep. I was like,
and we
you're
were
gonna
like, "How does she know this shit? How does
I
she know?" And
I
we were like,
know.
and then we were going back and forth. She doesn't know. She just getting lucky or something. Well, and what happened is we were looking at Sasquatch costumes, and Servo joined in our voice chat. It was just me and
Hmm.
Ox, and we were looking at Sasquatch costumes. And I was like, I found one. I was like, this would fit me. And Servo was like, why would it have to fit you? And I was like, oh well, Ox and I are about the same size. But I didn't think he was buying what I was selling. And so I thought he had mentioned something to you about it.
No. Mm-mm. No, I just know. I just
You
know what's
just knew.
happening. I was surprised, don't get me wrong. I was very shocked and surprised to see you, but I'm always suspicious of anything going on. Like I'm always very like it's really hard to surprise me. Like I've never
Well,
had like
especially
a
for that length of time.
yeah.
I'm not a great
Mhm.
liar.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I didn't know for sure. Like I just had like an inkling. I also thought that Kanub was gonna show up. So I thought that you and Kanub were
Oh
both gonna show
shit.
up. So but yeah, so I had like an
We tried to get
inkling.
James too, but unfortunately he couldn't make it work.
Yeah, yeah. So next year though, I feel like it would be great to
Oh,
do
PTS camp, but
something.
yeah, gotta make it
Yeah.
an annual thing now
I
for
love
sure.
it. It was great because it was 420, obviously a lot of people partake. It's legal in my state, just as, we're live on the internet. It's legal in my state, it's legal in Steve's state recreationally. So everybody enjoys 420. And we had a really good time, and it was also Easter weekend, which just like it was so
He is
random.
risen.
He's risen, so we had a really nice time just hanging out, and it was so peaceful. Like it was such a peaceful time, but also like it was, like a little chaotic, like good, like to hang out with everybody. And I got a lot of really good rest. I don't know about you, but I slept really well out there, and yeah,
It
I had a
was
really
the
good
weather was
time.
great. I mean, even for me, like it wasn't hot. As long as it's
Yeah,
not hot,
yeah.
it was it wasn't cold. It
Mm-hmm.
was a perfect kind of temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was the perfect amount of people where like a small group could break off and go do if they wanted to do a hike or
Mm-hmm.
go to a
Yeah.
brewery or
Yeah.
and but also a group stayed at the
Mm-hmm.
cabins and
Yeah. It was just like a nice mix of stuff to do, so which was really good. Ken said that he didn't sleep great, but he got to truly relax. Yeah, it was just a nice like serene. I feel like it couldn't have gotten better than that. Like it was just like a nice cool time, and we were all together, and it was just like we had the place to ourselves, which was really cool. So, yeah, I don't know. If anybody listening is looking for like a streamer getaway, if you're looking to find a place to get away to do like a streamer, I don't know. What do you call that? Like a camp. If you want to find a place like a good location to bring your friends to meet IRL and spend some time together, DM me. I'm not going to say what the name of the place is right now because we're live, but I'd be happy to share that information with you. A retreat, yeah, that's it. Yeah, retreat is what I was trying to
I mean honestly, I
say.
don't
So,
think Ox would mind if you said what it was.
yeah, um, yeah, I can share it privately if people want, but yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
I mean it's
Mhm.
very affordable and it like
Mhm.
you just need a place to sleep and
Mhm.
the only thing is it's getting out there, right? There's no
Mhm.
like direct you're driving a couple hours to get there from the
Yeah.
airport,
Yeah, for sure.
which makes it a little more difficult, but it is an incredible little area of
Mhm.
the town that we were in and
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really fun. So I feel really grateful that like I feel like we have a really great group of friends, like internet friends that like have, you guys are my friends. There's no difference to me between like IRL and URL. I guess like there's no difference to me. Like you guys are my friends and like I
Who do
think
you
it's
spend time with, right? It doesn't
yeah,
have to be
exactly.
a physical hanging out.
Yeah.
It's 2025 for Christ's sake,
Yeah.
like I've tried to drop. Now I just tell people like I hang out with my friends online, right? Like
Mhm.
that's me hanging out. And
Yeah.
if I hang out with friends in real life sometimes, but most of the time I'd rather hang out with my friends online because I
Mhm.
have a better time. I'm more comfortable.
Yeah, so much more comfortable and like you can wear your sweatpants, and not feel like you
Yeah.
need to, get don't get me wrong, like I like going out and I like, seeing people like in real life, but I prefer the online for sure. So, it's a lot more comfortable and I
Well,
think
certainly a balance, right? You're not doing
yeah,
all,
100%.
and then it's moderation of anything. But
Mhm.
in terms of like who I want to hang out with, this is where I'm
Mhm.
gonna be, like
Yeah, same. Yeah, I feel the same. Um, yeah, 100%. What else was I going to ask you? I feel like there was something else I wanted to, I don't know. Oh yeah, and Prototype Zebra makes up a good point. You can hang out online even if someone's sick. There you go. Yes.
right?
Just great. So, um, cool. I forgot. I feel like there was something else I was going to ask you about, and now I don't remember. But I'm just going to ask you. Okay, so are you drinking coffee? What are you drinking right now? What do you got? Pepsi.
Pepsi Zero.
Do you drink coffee?
I do not drink hot drinks.
You don't drink hot drinks. Do you drink cold
I'll drink iced
coffee?
coffee. But honestly, I in the mornings I do it's called mush mud water. It's
Oh
like a
yeah. Mhm.
here, wait, I can
Yeah,
show
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The mushroom coffee,
Yeah, yeah. I call it mushroom tea, but
mushroom tea. Yeah. The choice of a new generation. Truly. Yeah, I think I've had this before. Not the mud water, but I tried a different one.
the rise, did you try the rise
Yes,
one?
that's the one that I tried. Yeah.
So it's called mud water and
Oh, it's got
there's
lion's mane in it.
four
Okay.
four five different cordyceps, lion's mane, um, masala, chai, whatever that is,
Mhm.
reishi, and chaga mushrooms. So four different kinds of mushrooms in here,
Mhm.
and the big ones are the cordyceps and the lion's mane. I mean, mushrooms in general are pretty great.
Mhm. Yeah. I love mushrooms. Like I love just eating mushrooms, but I don't know anything about like the properties of mushrooms. Like what do they do for you? Like is it focus based or like what are
Yeah, it's mental clarity. Cordyceps is good energy,
Mhm.
sustained, non like jittery energy. Although my caffeine
Mm.
tolerance is like I barely feel caffeine.
Okay.
So this does something different in terms of my energy and mental clarity and
Mhm.
just overall how
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. Gotcha. Great.
Have you
Um
ever done psilocybin mushrooms?
I don't know what that is. No. What is that?
Magic mushrooms?
Oh no. Mm-mm. No. No. It's not legal here. Is it legal there?
It's
I
not for
feel
you.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
they just approved, like it got decriminalized is how they say it.
Mhm.
They're starting to approve like research and medical uses and approve medical uses
Mhm.
of it, especially for like PTSD therapies and
Yeah. I think I've heard this before.
so
Like
it's
I feel like I heard something and don't quote me on this because I feel like maybe this is something I read a long time ago. Like it helps with like schizophrenia even, like
yeah. There's
mental like any sort of like illnesses like that or you know, I've heard of that before, but also seizures. I feel like I heard something about that too. Like it helps like if somebody has like chronic seizures or something, like whatever that is. So it's good, it's a plant, right? Like it's just like finding out benefits of, stuff like that. So I've never done it.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure I would, but that's just me, but I can see why, people would. So,
yeah, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the medical and healthcare system in this country, but
we can just agree that it's fucked, I
they
think
should be
is what.
trying everything, especially natural things,
Yeah, stuff that grows out of the
before.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. Okay, I have just a couple of just like general questions. I think we can just kind of go off of what does being a good friend mean to you? Is friendship and French roast? What does being a good friend mean to you?
Being a good friend means to me, um, shared enjoyment, obviously. Like, if there are things you enjoy doing together, you're more likely to be friends. And I think there's something about like being comfortable saying whatever you believe or think or is on
Mhm.
your mind in the company of this person,
Mhm.
without fear of judgment, or you know what I mean,
Mhm.
persecution.
Sure. Mhm.
Um, it's we. I think that's a big part of it, is that just being comfortable, yeah, with uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Like,
Yeah.
and being able to still treat each other with kindness, and
Mhm.
also being able to say things that upset you that that person has done without that
Mhm.
person, like, it's a
Yeah.
two-way street, of course, but it's, you're kind to each other, you enjoy each other's company, you can
Mhm.
be yourself around this person, you don't have to put on a mask,
Mhm.
and you can rely on, if I think a big part of it is, if you needed a friend, could you reach out to them and they would almost drop anything and
Mhm.
attend to your
Yeah.
needs or
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
obviously circumstances are,
Yeah, but I mean, in a situation
it's
where
not
it's
like
like
a
you really needed help, like, and you felt comfortable asking that person to like come to your aid or whatever. So,
right,
but
right.
yeah, I like what Annie said. I know you said this, but being comfortable with uncomfortable conversations, I think that that is something that's so important and something that I know I personally have been learning. We were talking about like online friendships and stuff, and I have connected with so many people. You're included in this. Is like I've connected with so many people that I grew up with the impression that like if you have a disagreement and you can't come to like there's no way to come to a conclusion. Like if you have a disagreement, you just have a disagreement and you go your separate ways. And so that's how I was raised, and so I've always had a really difficult time having tough conversations and talking to people about different things. Like when I feel hurt, I don't want to tell my friends, like I don't want to say like, hey, what you said really hurt me and I really feel uncomfortable with the situation, like, whatever. So that's something that I've been working on, and something that I feel like I've really been learning with you guys, like with this group of friends that we have, is like I feel like we have a really great group of people that I can come to you and say like, I don't think you and I have ever had like a huge disagreement, but I know that you and I have had conversations that are just like, maybe just like a little bit uncomfortable, but I know that you're not going to leave. Like I know that you're not going to, just like if we disagree on something, or like if I, I don't know, if whatever happens, like I know that you're not going to leave. Like and I feel like one of the first times I realized that this was like a thing was Hamblam. And there was something that I had said in someone's stream just like as a joke or whatever, but he DM'd me and he had said like, hey, like I just want to know, like, you said this, but I don't know if you're like saying this like for real, or like I just want to like know, like this is making me a little bit uncomfortable, whatever. And so I was like, whoa, like we can have this conversation and it's like we're like cool, like, and we talked about it and we hashed it out, and I was like, we're still friends. Like I was like, I didn't realize that that was something that we could do. So it's been.
He's incredible. Like I've had, yeah,
Mhm.
and him he's near the top of the list of people I've had, like, disagreeing conversations,
Mhm.
but like also amicable, like
Yeah.
back and forth. Like, this is my opinion. This, well,
Mhm.
maybe you should look at it from this perspective, and this is my perspective, and but
Mhm.
no, you're a jackass. You're
Mhm.
this. You're a that. There's no name calling. There's no
Yeah.
this this need for us to define people in labels. You're either this or you're that, or you're this,
Yeah.
versus just having a conversation with the person and being like, so a big, this I love, and I'm going to go on a little thing here.
Please.
Is, have you ever heard me bring up the holes in a straw?
Holes in a straw. I feel like
People are
maybe.
probably, I don't know if this part of the community has had this discussion. Maybe some have, some haven't. Rhodey knows. It's holes in a straw is, it's just a great debate topic that doesn't need to have a right answer. Yes, maybe
Mhm.
there's technically a right answer depending on how you look at it, but ultimately you're going to disagree with somebody.
Mhm.
And I, of course, I've always been the kind of person that I will take the other side just to disagree with you and see how can we disagree, and is it going to turn into
Mm.
name calling? Are we going to start raising our voices and yelling, or can we just disagree in, regardless of the topic, right? Something as insignificant as the number of holes in a straw to much bigger topics, it doesn't make a difference. We can still be kind to each other. We don't
Mhm.
have to um, name call and judge the other person because they have this opinion on the number of holes in a fucking straw, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Like very like trivial stuff like that, and like yeah, I like what you said. It's like that you disagree with someone just to see if like you can, kind of work through it. I feel like that's kind of a good practice, like based on, you might not disagree at all, but it's like I want to make sure that we're practicing, good kindness to each other. And I think that that's something that a lot of people,
exactly.
I don't know where, because like I said, like that's the way that I grew up, is like it was always, wasn't never kindness. Like whenever we disagreed, like it was always just like a rude, like this person's a jackass, like he doesn't know what he's talking about, so we can't see this person anymore, or this, that. So like I don't understand where that came from, and like why that is something that's so prevalent, not just in my life and my upbringing, but like the world in general. Is like everybody's so mean to each other. Like we can't, there are certain things I think that there, in my opinion, there is a right and a wrong, right? Like you shouldn't kill someone, like you shouldn't do that. Like there's like a moral thing, based on that, but there's also, so many situational things. But I think when it comes down to it, when it's like I like pineapple on pizza, there's two holes in the straw, there's one hole in the straw, there's seven holes in the straw. Like it, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, like there shouldn't be any sort of like, there shouldn't be any sort of name calling, or like I can't talk to you because you think that there's seven holes in the straw. Like that's ridiculous. Like that's not, that's just not the way that it should be. And I feel like it's been a good practice for me. I've had some hard conversations with, people in the community about, different stuff, like bigger issues, bigger societal issues, and, visions on that. But I think that there's a way that we can have discussions about those hard topics and still be kind to each other. So, yeah, I really like.
I'm a sucker for Instagram, like motivational Instagram
Yeah,
quotes
me
and
too.
videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ones is, this guy says, the only thing I can't put up with is malicious intent. And I
Yes.
fucking love it.
Yes.
Because you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. You can go about your life however you want to go about your life. But if I see malicious intent out of you, that's where
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna lose. That's where I'm gonna step
I
the other
love that.
way. I can't put up with malicious intent. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
We all have formed opinions based on a wild upbringing in a crazy fucking universe. And
Mm-hmm.
internet has just changed that so much to a point where we need to I got to put my flag in the ground here, and I got to say it proud. And if you disagree with me, I don't want anything to do with you. And it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we get along? Like
Yeah.
it's we
Mm-hmm.
can disagree on there's and then there's like you said, there are heavy subjects and there are heavy topics, but I can't judge somebody based on an
Mm-hmm.
opinion that they formed off of
Yeah.
who knows their life. I
Yeah.
don't know what they've been through
Mm-hmm.
that has formed this opinion, and just because
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with it, I'm gonna call you names and
Mm-hmm.
not talk to you anymore when I know you're a kind person. And
Yeah.
no, that's not what I care about. Is can you be kind to people? Can you make people laugh? Have
Mm-hmm.
fun, enjoy life. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I
it's
think, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where like, and just another one of those quotes is like, anger is like taking a poison and expecting the other person to be harmed by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Wow.
we
Mm-hmm.
get so angry so easily
Mm-hmm.
on the internet because that's
Mm-hmm.
what gets the clicks and like the negative attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. And I feel like it's so easy to get triggered by something. And like something that I have learned is like when I'm angry, when I'm angry at somebody, when I'm fuming about something that somebody has said, I'm the only person who's being affected by that. Like I love what you said about taking a poison. Like I'm the only one who's angry unless I go and I talk to that other person with kindness, with and that's hard. It's hard when you are so angry. It's like all you want to do is just explode and be like, you're wrong, like you are wrong and this is why. But it's like we can't do that. Like we have to have some sort of societal shift where it's like we start, and I feel like we have a really great community that we're doing this, is like having those hard conversations and just like being open-minded and listening to people. Like I struggle with this, is like I know what I believe and I know what I feel is right, and then to hear someone say something that goes against those beliefs, and then it makes me angry. It's like all I want to do is say like, you're wrong, you're wrong, like you need to act this way. But it's like, okay, like you said, what let's have a conversation about it. What was your upbringing? Why do you feel this way? And I think that there's a lot of value in being able to understand somebody's point of view. You might not agree with it, but learning, I think it's so important to learn about each other and learn like, why do you feel this way, so
I'm
yeah.
listening. My cat's
Yep.
doing something.
What's happening,
No,
Logan?
it's he's trying to get into a cabinet. Get out of there, dude.
Logan. He's just a baby.
He's learned how to get into the floor level cabinets,
Uh-huh.
and now he's challenging himself with the like cup cabinets up above off the counter. So he has to try to open it and then jump because it's a heavy one. He can't open it all the way. So he's got to open it enough to jump in there. And he's done
Oh
it a couple
my
times, but
god.
he's a
You
goose.
got to get one of those like child locks on your cabinets where you have to like
Right?
pull it. Oh my
Seriously.
gosh, that's so funny. Oh my god. Is he still doing it? Oh my god.
He's doing something, the
That's so
goose.
funny.
But yeah, that's what it. I mean,
Hmm.
like I said, I like the malicious intent.
I
It's a
like
well
that.
defined, concise way of narrowing down what I won't put up with.
Yeah, I really
Anything
like
else?
that. Yeah.
Anything else? I'm cool with. Like
Hmm.
no matter how wrong, quote unquote, the opinion is, who am I to fucking say? Like I'm not a
Yeah.
scientist.
Hmm.
I don't know shit. I'm just
Hmm.
here trying to smile and put smile on other people's faces.
Hmm.
To say that, you're wrong for having this opinion,
Hmm. Yeah.
regardless of how much I can prove it, who really
Hmm.
fucking cares? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I think what you said, like the malicious intent thing, I really really like that, and I think I'm taking that, and that I'm planting that little seed in my head, because I really like what you said, because yeah, there are things that you can tolerate, and some things that are just like I can't tolerate this, and when it comes down to just like human beings, and when it comes to that type of thing, and like malicious intent against other human beings, and their quality of life and stuff like that. That is something that I know I don't want to put up with, but we could go down that road. That could be a whole other hour-long conversation about that, I
Well,
feel
that's
like.
like
But
like,
yeah.
and it doesn't even have to be like necessarily in a physical sense, right?
Yeah.
It can still be
Mhm.
like you can hear when people talk, like,
Yeah.
you know, I hope you unalive, right? Or whatever the
Yep.
case may be.
Mhm.
People say these things and as like a joke,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
you said
it's
it
not.
once. I don't that you
Yeah.
like I a prime example, and this is a little bit of sad story, but so there's a boy in my class who's of like I don't want Indian descent, I believe,
Okay.
or Middle Eastern descent,
Mhm.
and another boy in the other side of the class who has over spring break said like texted a racist thing to him.
Oh no.
And I was just like, like, and that's the kind of thing, no matter how young, that's malicious intent, right? Like, you don't
Absolutely.
use a racist term unless you are intending to hurt that person.
Mhm. Yeah.
That there's no other reason to use it, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if it's a joke, even if you're cross the line upset, it's pretty blanketed that you don't say those things
Mhm.
because you're the only reason to say them is to have an
Is
intent to harm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just like, I was just told the young boy, I said, just be careful, right? Like, he's done it once. It was that easy for him to do it once.
Mhm.
You know, who's to say he's not going to do it again? Can you trust him?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
Jeez.
the thing is, it doesn't malicious intent doesn't mean necessarily a physical harm, right?
Absolutely. Mhm. Yeah, 100%. Goodness. Yeah, thank you for that. Man, I like that malicious and I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day. But
I
cool.
got you.
Well, chat. We're gonna kind of pivot a little bit. I would love it if you guys. I know Steve and I have kind of been chatting together, just the two of us. But if there's anything that like you guys, just based on listening about what Steve has talked about, like if there's anything that you guys want to ask him, or if you have any questions about his Twitch stream. Follow him, by the way. He's trying to get to affiliate. He just in case you missed it at the very beginning of the conversation, he had to change his name. He had to change his name because his students found him. So he's trying to get back to an affiliate status on Peace Machina. So if you guys can go give him a follow, that would be awesome. Thank you both for shouting him out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friends.
Yeah. Warlock said, "Don't make people feel bad. Give them food. Always have delicious intent." I actually love that. That's actually really great.
That is always have delicious intent. I prefer delicious intent over malicious. I love that.
I love food.
That's
Oh my
great.
god. I love sharing food. I love having a meal with people. I think that is so much fun. Like when we were all together and having food together in Maryland, I had such a great time just eating with you guys. So that was so cool. So, but yeah. Yeah, if anybody has any
I can't
questions for
find it, but if I
Steve,
do, I'll send it.
yeah,
Yeah, bring
please,
it
please
on.
do. Whatever you
Got a
guys
little
want
bit
to
of
ask
time.
him.
Hour goes by quick, huh?
Yeah, my gosh, I can't believe it. It's 10:57, so yeah, we're already coming up. I know that you got a lot of stuff to do today. Got some Sunday stuff to do. I want that burger from the brewery in Denver. Well, let's go back, Chevy. Let's go back to Denver. I want to come back to Denver so bad. I had so much fun when I was there. We when we were there,
Cool
Options
thing
and
about
I.
this place is you can come here any time of year, really,
Yep. Yeah.
and it's
We
beautiful.
when we were there, when Options and I, Lauren dropped us off in like downtown Denver for the day, and we were just kind of bouncing around to like breweries and stuff. And we were looking up, we were like, we want to live here. Like, it's beautiful there. Like, I don't know what it is about Denver, Colorado
The
in general.
mountains.
It's beautiful. Like the whole thing is just like that's where I would move there. I've lived in Michigan my entire life, and Options and I talked about it, and we were like, if we moved anywhere, like we would move to Denver. And then we looked up
It's
the
so
housing prices,
expensive.
and then we were like, okay, well, this is why.
Yep.
But it's beautiful there. It feels like it's so worth it. So Ken wants to visit
Sorry,
Colorado.
we'll get you up to partner soon enough, and then you'll start making more money,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you'll blow up, and all of a sudden you'll be a
That's it. Yeah. Well, blow
1,000
up.
viewer streamer, and then
Hell yeah. I'll
you'll be
move
able
to
to afford
Denver.
it.
I'll be able to handle having a second home in Denver. It'll be fine. So.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to go to Colorado, that's definitely it. Go. Rhodey said, "What's your favorite Pokemon?"
It Snorlax Snorlax is probably still up there. Executor has made quite the push as of the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And then Growlithe are kind of the top three.
Mm-hmm.
Little Fire Dog, the stoned pineapple tree, and the big lazy guy. Right up my alley. Check, check, check.
Perfect. Oh
Now
my
I need a
gosh.
cat. Now I'm gonna have to get. Where's Starry Night? I'm gonna have to get a cat Pokemon. Now that I got Logan, I'm gonna have to get a cat
A
Pokemon
cat one.
that I
Cute.
like.
Love that. Well, I think we're pretty much we're out of time. If I don't think anybody else has any other questions. I thank you for having this conversation with me. Thank you for hanging out. I love you. I'm
Thanks for having me.
so
Love you too.
grateful that you are my friend, and I'm so grateful that we've been able to see each other and hug each other every year.
Check.
Every single year, which has been so nice. And I don't know, do you have any other parting words or things that you want to say to everybody here, or
I mean, I think we've said quite a bit.
yeah.
Be kind always.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind.
Be kind always. Great. Well, thank you. Okay, well, I think that's probably it. I appreciate everybody. Drink more mushrooms, Annie says. There you go. That's
Drink
it.
more mushrooms.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I think that this is probably appropriate, but Lauren is actually streaming right now, so I think that it would probably be
Oh, let's do
appropriate
it.
to raid out to Lauren. Thanks, Grin. Thank you for being
Oh,
here. Thank you
Ken,
guys.
so great meeting you too, buddy. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys are so
Thanks
cool.
for hanging out, Annie, Rhodey, Ken,
Yeah, and
Warlock,
if you guys missed the very
Options.
beginning of this, the VOD will be posted on Twitch. I'm also gonna post it over on YouTube if you guys want to listen to it later. But right now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid Lauren KHD. Follow Steve, follow Peace Machina on Twitch. Can't wait to see some more streams from you this summer. I can't wait.
Love to
We
get
need
some Pummel Party.
I was just
Pummel
gonna say we gotta
Party.
get some games together. Pummel Party is a really good one for sure, and maybe we could get back
Phasmo's been
to
fun. Fall
Phasmo.
Guys.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
need to do like a Fall Guys custom night or something.
Have you played Repo? Have we played Repo together?
Yeah. We
We
played my first Peace Machina stream.
That's right. Oh my
We
gosh.
played.
Yeah.
It was my first Peace Machina stream.
That's right. Oh my god. Amazing.
Stay tuned, Warlock. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I got a week and a half of school left, and we'll figure some shit out. Sorry I don't have a definite date and time for you, but
Soon. Follow him and turn on notifications, then you'll know. So, all right. Well, that's it. Thank you for joining me for Friendship and French Roast. Appreciate you, Steve. And ending is always super
appreciate
awkward.
you.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
There. Okay. They can still hear us. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Oh my god, no, you hang up. You hang up. All right, we're gonna go raid Lauren. It's happening right now. Ooh,
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna get her up here.